UT Martin head coach Jason Simpson, the Skyhawks, 6 wins in a row, 2-0 in the OVC now. Still top of the standings. They played Southeast Missouri in what was classified as a non-conference contest last week, 38-30 victory. They're going to host Austin Peay, who is coming off a big win last week. That's on Saturday at 2 p.m. Central. So, Coach, just thoughts on your team, and then we'll go to some questions.
Okay, great. Yeah, obviously good win. They're all good. SEMO, we hadn't had a lot of success with them the last several years, so Coach Tuke, have a lot of respect for him, and they're big and they're strong, they're physical. The game didn't get started like we wanted to. We had a couple, unforced errors and communication problems, so that was disappointing. And then got something going there late in the first quarter and able to get a lead at halftime. We got up 31-10, and you feel like things are trending our way. I thought we had some, give SEMO credit and their staff credit. They kept fighting and competing and got back in the game. So I was disappointed during that about 10 minutes in the third quarter, where we were up 3 scores and didn't finish the game out and had to fight back in the fourth quarter. And found a way to win, and that's the objective. But a lot of things we can learn from and improve on.
Perfect, Coach. We'll go to some questions. I'll go with the Van Stokes first from the Governor's Sports Network.
Hey, Coach. Austin Peay and UT Martin have probably the 2 most explosive offenses in the OVC. What excites you the most about your offense, and what concerns you the most about Austin Peay's offense?
Now you go back to the SEMO game, we only had 2 explosives. We had a 75-yard run and a 50-yard pass, which were great. We needed both of them to get the win, but we didn't have as many explosives as you would like. We I think we're 35 minutes a game, 34 minutes a game. So I don't know that we're as explosive as they are, to be quite honest with you. I know we're about the same in total offense. We're about the same in points per game, those things, but we're kind of more methodical in some aspects maybe than they are. They play with a lot more tempo than we do. They take a lot more shots on the outside probably than we do. So different styles of offense. But we have had some big plays. We do have some good players, but our success has been, if we're scoring 5 times a game, there's probably 3 of them where we're sustaining some drives.
Good analysis, Coach. What makes your quarterback, Keon Howard, so effective? Is his decision-making, athleticism, leadership, ability to throw, ability to run? What makes him so effective?
No, great question. First of all, Keon's leadership and competitiveness is as good as we've ever had here. He competes and he'll throw his body around, his toughness. He gets back up. The offensive line, it's hard as an offensive line and not to have respect for when you turn the tape on and you see him, taking some hits or trying to run through a tackle and score. And so it's helped our offensive line create some more, toughness and desire to, to protect him and to, execute at a high level, strain with technique, as we say. The next thing I'm telling you, because he can run and throw, he's not the fastest guy, from the quarterback position, but he'll run between the tackles. And he has great instincts, as far as when to tuck the ball and make a play. Those things we have to have. That's kind of been the key to our success, is his instincts and competitiveness and leadership and belief that he's created, for our football team.
Coach, it's been said that whoever controls the line of scrimmage will win this game. Do you agree with that thought?
Yeah. I think that's always going to come into play. There's times where, you can, you get a couple, turnovers, they throw it to you, or you throw it to them, and they score, and that's disappointing. Those things happen. But when you're playing the percentages of, 70 plays, both on offense or defense, as long as there's no, special team goofs or just blatant terrible turnovers, that comes into play to be able, an offensive line, defensive lines, being able to control their gaps.
Finally, Coach, is it fair to say that whoever wins this game will have the inside track to possibly winning this conference?
Yeah, I hadn't done all the math. I know we're only 2 games into this. Now I get it. We only play, 6 this year instead of the 8. So, I guess they're all important, but I hadn't done the math yet. I know all I know is right now we've secured a winning season. That's it, with 6 wins. And I know we're good enough to, to win the rest of them, but I also know that, that might not be the case either. Okay. So that's kind of, how I feel about our football team, where I have belief in them, but I know all 4 games, and especially this one will be a challenge.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I want to ask about your defense again. You talked about early on, you had the injuries, you got some people back. Every week when and I don't see all the video, but looking at your stats, the balance, and it seems to be a different person and people step up. Can you talk about what we've seen the last couple of weeks, maybe from your defensive unit?
Well, last week thought they played really well against Eastern Illinois, especially in the second half. Not so pleased this week. Give Southeast Missouri credit. But we've had a couple short yardage runs that have got out on us the last 2 weeks. That's got to, be corrected. Didn't get lined up right. When you break that first level of defense, right, there's nobody else back there. And we paid the price the last 2 weeks. Going back and, grading the tape, a lot of unforced errors this past week, alignment assignment wise, where, just disappointing. So we're going to play better on defense this week to have a chance. So now our defense is got some good players, and there's a lot of good individual efforts, but from a team defense standpoint, we better improve from what we did this the third quarter wise, especially against this past week.
And then you referenced Keon and what he's done. He scored some rushing touchdowns. Just a note, you saw Geno Hess this past week. You're going to see Ahmad Tanner for Austin Peay. So those two, Keon and Zach Wallace, they all rank in the top 12 nationally in rushing. So the OVC has 4 of the top 12 rushing touchdown leaders in the country. Can you talk about what you've seen and from your team? Like, we've talked in the past, some years it's a passing year, some years it's a rushing year. It seems when the touchdowns are being scored by people rushing the ball.
Oh, no doubt. Well, don't forget 4 for Austin Peay too. I know he doesn't sometimes get as many carries, but he's probably the more heralded players than any player in this conference. Certainly coming out of high school, he's outstanding. No, you're right. We've got kind of a it started off backfield by committee, but Peyton Logan bounced back this week. From a he just was nicked up a little bit the week before, and Zach Wallace had a big game. 100+ yard rushing and several touchdowns. And this week it was Peyton Logan. So no, that's very comforting to have 2 guys as well as your quarterback that can, they can add some rushing yards to it, at least be a threat in the run game. So that's good for both teams. I mean, good gracious, they ran for 300. Austin Peay did for 300+ yards against, against Murray, and a lot of big plays. So that's certainly concerning. And sure, both teams would like to run the football and be able to, control their down and distances. So we'll see.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck on Saturday, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great day. Appreciate it.